If you are expecting me to inform you of the terrible health risks that smokers run, the smoker spend a small fortune during their smoking life, that it is a filthy, disgusting habit, and that you are a stupid, spineless, weak-willed jellyfish, then I must disappoint you. Those tactics never helped me to quit, and if they were going to help you, you would already quit. There is a common misapprehension that we choose to smoke. Smokers no more choose to smoke. It is true that we choose to light those first experimental cigarettes. I occasionally choose to go to the cinema, but I certainly did not choose to spend my whole life in the cinema. Please reflect on your life. Did you ever make the positive decision that at certain times in your life you could not enjoy a meal or social occasion without smoking, or that you could not concentrate or handle state without a cigarette? At what state did you decide that you needed cigarette not just for social occasion, but that you need to have them permanently in your present, and felt insecure, even panic stricken without them? Like every other smoker, you have been lured into the most sinister subtle trap that man and nature have combined to devise. There is no any parent on this planet, whether they be smoker or non-smoker, that like the thought of their children smoking. This means that all smokers wish they had never started. Not surprising really, no one needs cigarette to enjoy meals or cope with state before they get hooked. At the same time, all smokers wish to continue to smoke. After all, no one forces us to light up, whether we understand the reason or not. It is only smokers themselves that decide to light up. If there were a magic button that smoker could press to wake up the following morning as if they never light the first cigarette, the only smoker there will be tomorrow morning will be the youngster who are still at the experimental stage. The only thing that prevents us from quitting is fear. Fear that we will have to survive an indeterminate period of misery, deprivation, and unsatisfied craving in order to be free. Fear that a meal or social occasion will never be quite as enjoyable without a cigarette. Fear that we will never be able to concentrate, handle state, or be as confident without our little crutch. Fear that our personality and character will change. But most of all, the fear of once smoker, always smoker, that we will never be completely free and spend the rest of our life at odd times craving the occasional cigarette. If you are apprehensive, panic-stricken, or feel that the times it's not right for you to give up, then let me assure you that your apprehension or panic is caused by fear. The fear is not relieved by cigarette, but created by them. You did not decide to fall into the nicotine trap, but like all traps, it is designed to ensure that you remain trapped. Ask yourself, when you light those first experimental cigarettes, did you decide to remain a smoker as long as you have? So when you are going to quit tomorrow, next year, stop kidding yourself. The trap is designed to hold you for life. Why else do you think all these other smokers don't quit before it kills them? This is the warning. We have a chicken and egg situation. Every smoker wants to quit, and every smoker can find it easy and enjoyable to quit. It's only that prevents smoker from trying to quit. The greatest gain is to be rid of the fear. You did not decide to fall into the trap, but be clear in your mind. You won't escape from it unless you make a positive decision to do so. You might already be standing at the least to quit. On the other hand, you might be apprehensive. Either way, please bear in mind you have absolutely nothing to lose. The easy method is basically this: initially to forget the reasons we would like to stop to face the cigarette, and to ask ourselves the following problems. What is it doing for me? Do I actually enjoy it? Do I really need to go through life playing through the notes just to stick these things in my mouth and suffocate myself? The beautiful truth is that it does absolutely nothing for you at all. Let me make it quite clear. I do not mean that disadvantage of being a smoker overweighs the advantage. All smokers know that all their life. I mean, there are not any advantage from smoking. The only advantage it ever had was the social plus. Nowadays, even smokers themselves regard it as an antisocial habit. Most smokers find it necessary to rationalize why they smoke, but the reason are all fallacies and illusions. The first things we are going to do is remove these fallacies and illusions. In fact, you will realize that there is nothing to give up. Not only is there nothing to give up, but there are marvelous positive gains from being non-smokers, and health and money are only two of these gains. Once the illusion that life will never be quite as enjoyable without the cigarettes is removed, you will just realize that life is as enjoyable without it, but infinitely more. So once the feeling of being deprived or of missing out are eradicated, then we can go back to reconsider the health and money. In the dozens of other reasons for stopping smoking, this realization will become positive additional aids to help you achieve what you really desire to enjoy the whole of your life, free from the slavery of the weed. Question yourself, if you could go back to the time before you became hooked with the knowledge you have now, would you have started smoking? No ways is the reply. Say to the most common smoker, someone who doesn't think that it enjoys his health, who is not worried about the social stigma and who can afford it. There are not many about these days to encourage your children to smoke. No ways is the reply. The whole business of smoking is an extraordinary enigma. The only person who get onto it is because of the thousands of people already doing it, yet every one of them who he or she had not started in the first place telling us that it is a waste of time and money. We cannot quite believe they are not enjoying it. We associate it with being grown up and work hard to become hooked ourselves. We then spend the rest of our life trying to kick the habit. Nicotine, a colorless oily compound, the drug content in tobacco that addict the smokers. Before we start the nicotine chain, our bodies are complete. We then push nicotine into our bodies and we put the cigarette out. The nicotine start to leave. We suffer withdrawal pangs, not physical pain, just an empty feeling. We are not even aware that it exists, but this is like a dripping tap inside our body. Our rational mind do not understand it. They do not need to. All we know is that we want a cigarette, and when we light it, the craving goes in. For the moment we are content and confident again, just as we were before we became addicted. However, the satisfaction is only temporary, because in order to relieve the craving, you have to put more nicotine into the body. As soon as you extinguish the cigarette, the craving starts again, and so the chain goes on. It is a chain for life unless you break it. Just one cigarette or the last one is a myth you must get out of your mind. It is just one cigarette that gets us started in the first place. It is just one cigarette to tide us over a difficult patch or on a special occasion that defeat most of our attempt to stop. But one thing, it is ridiculously easy to stop smoking. All you have to do is two things. Make the decision that you are never going to smoke again. Don't think about it. Rejoice the vital pangs of nicotine, that empty insecure feeling like a hunger which smokers identify as a craving or smoking to do with their hand, will disappear within a week. I believe you can do it. Never ever doubt your decision. Remind yourself how marvelous it is to be free again. Remind yourself of the sick joy of not having to choke yourself anymore. Stop thinking about failure. The beautiful truth is that it is not only ridiculously easy to quit, but you can actually enjoy the process. This time we are going to use Easyway. All you need to do is follow the simple instruction that I am about to give you. Make the decision that you are not going to smoke again. Smoke the final cigarette consciously. Inhale the filth deeply into your lungs and ask yourself whether the pleasure is. When you extinguish it, do so not with a feeling of I must never smoke another or I am not allowed to smoke another, but with a feeling of isn't it great, I am free, I am no longer the slave of nicotine. I don't ever have to put these filthy things in my mouth again. Be aware that for a few days there will be a little nicotine savior inside the stomach. The body isn't crave nicotine, only the brain craves nicotine. If you do get that feeling of I want a cigarette over the next few days, you have one choice. Say to yourself, yippee, I am a non-smoker and I am enjoying my own company. Or you can start craving for a cigarette and suffer it for the rest of your life. The choice is yours. If it's helped you, please do comment, yippee, I am a non-smoker, and don't forget to share this video to your loved one or best friend who is addicted to nicotine. For more helpful videos, you can subscribe to me and hit the bell icon to get notification when I upload a new video.